friends, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back. Thanks for stopping in. I hope wherever you're at and whatever you're doing, you are striving, you're thriving, you are loving yourself and loving the ones you're with, because that is what the Lord tells us to do, guys. Today, we are talking about a movie from 2026. Just came out a couple weeks ago on Netflix. It's called War Machine, directed by Mr. Patrick Hughes, old Pat. He directed this and stars Mr. Alan Rickson. You guys might know him as that giant son of a gun, Jack Reacher, John Reacher, whatever his name is, Reacher. He's that guy. He was also in, I almost said League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That's not it. The League, or the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, something like that. It has Henry Cavill, him, they're hunting Nazis. Cool flick. Check it out. Guys, this is War Machine. Now, when I think of War Machine, I think of the Black Iron Man suit and Don Cheadle, but this is not that. Instead, this should have been called Reacher versus Terminator or Reacher versus Mech Warrior, either one. This is the story of an Iraqi-Afghan war vet who, while he's over there in the stuff, he loses his brother to an ambush, and they were going to come back and go out for Ranger training. He comes back, he winds up enlisting in Ranger training. They go off on like a War Games type excursion where it's a training mission. They wind up finding an alien spacecraft, or at least that's what we think it is an alien spacecraft that crash lands. They're actually supposed to be doing a mission where they go in, rescue a hostage, destroy their own, military vehicle so the enemies can't get their secrets, kind of thing. They blow that, and then they have to get to the extraction zone. Well, the maps, they think the maps are wrong. They wind up coming down on this spaceship, whatever it is, and they set the charges and blow it. Turns out that's not what they were supposed to be doing, and they awaken a sleeping giant, literally. And this thing is like future war to the max. It is, heat-seeking, biometric reading. Like, it is just an ultimate killing machine. And this is basically our movie, guys. This is broken soldier searching for redemption, fights an enemy alien. That's pretty much the gist of the story. Now, the writing, I would have liked this movie a lot more if it had some gusto to it. It didn't have any emotional punch. It didn't have any emotional hooks. It didn't really have anything that made me care about this character other than the fact that he lost his brother and he's a badass, and so now he's going to find, to be a ranger to fulfill that dream that both of them had. And so that premise in and of itself is kind of, it's a little generic, little kind of cool maybe. But the writing didn't really service the film well. It's a lot of like, in my opinion, sophomoric writing. There was all the characters, all their dialogue was surface level. There was never, and you can chalk that up to like maybe military bravado and gusto and military machismo, where they're like, we don't show emotions, we just shoot them. Maybe you're supposed to chalk it up to that, but there's very little in the way of any kind of attachment to these characters that you're going to find yourself having. All I saw was Reacher, because that's exactly who he played in this film. He had no dynamic range whatsoever in his acting. He was Reacher. He was Reacher fighting a robot, and that was it. And that, in and of itself, was disappointing, because I like Rickson as an actor. He's a great action star. He's got the size. He's got the physique. He's got the, he's the total package, right? He looks great. Sounds great. Could do the action. I think he'd make a great Batman. I know a lot of other people think that too, but I think he'd make a great Batman. I like the guy, but gosh, man, Rickson, you gotta pick some better roles. You can't just be the heavy all the time, man. If you want to do anything other than being an action star, you gotta act, bro. I mean, this was pretty much just run of the mill. Have a little bit of dialogue to get you to the next action sequence. And I'm not a huge fan of that in my action films. I love a good action movie just as much as the next person. I love a good action film. But this, guys, this was just lazy feeling. It just felt like it was just thrown together. We're going to throw him in there, and that's going to get eyes on it. And maybe they were right, because apparently it's like the #1 or #2 movie on Netflix right now. Or it was when I watched it. but I wasn't impressed. Special effects are janky. If you're a billion-dollar movie studio, put some of that money into making your CGI look good if you're not going to use practical effects. You've got the money, stop making it look like PlayStation 2 cutscenes, guys. This is ridiculous. And when I'm watching a giant Mechazord robot thing start shooting heat-seeking missiles and laser beams and stuff like that, make it look believable, man. Don't make it look like a Sci-Fi Channel original series. Come on, you have the budget. Don't half-ass it. If you're going to half-ass it, don't make it at all. But, I mean, it really was, it had the potential to be an excellent film if they would have had better writing. If they would have had, if old Pat would have drawn some kind of emotion or some kind of, like, passion out of Rickson, that'd have been great. Probably would have made me like him a little bit more. But in this, he was simply just Reacher versus a robot. And that, to me, does not make a good movie. Would I recommend this to you? Sure. If you're a fan of him as an actor, go ahead and check it out. If you're a fan of, popcorn sci-fi where there's really no substance to it and you're just oohing and ahhing and stuffing popcorn in your face, this is for you. But if you want something deeper and you want characters that matter and you want to have, you want a John Connor, someone you can get in, or a Kyle Reese that you can get emotionally involved in and you can see the stresses of the war that it's played on him. Like, Rickson loses his brother, right? You should be, but maybe, and like I said, maybe it's the military bravado of not showing the emotion, but you're supposed to see it on his face that he's torn because his brother passed away. He couldn't save him. They couldn't join the Rangers together, but I got none of that. And that is where they failed, I think, because it had a great hook and they just pissed it away, right? But that's it for War Machine, guys. Check it out if you want to. I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm just letting you know ahead of time that it's not Terminator, it ain't Reacher, and it ain't War of the Worlds. I mean, it's pretty dang run-of-the-mill, guys. It ain't nothing special. So check it out if you want to. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and talking a little bit about War Machine, guys. That's it. Hit that like and subscribe button for me on the way out, my friends. And as always, I am going to keep making them as long as you keep watching them. Peace out. God bless you, and I will see you next time.